This MMA 30 segment is powered by Cheaterville.com. Don't go down without a fight. See who's being outed for their cheating ways online now at Cheaterville.com. Joining us here on the program, UFC bantamweight champion Dominick Cruz. And Dominick, here it is, man. It's a big night for you on Saturday night, facing Urijah Faber in Las Vegas. Fights are available on pay-per-view, and this is a fight where everyone's been talking about the bad blood. How real is that?
I mean, if you really got asked that question, it can't. I mean, you can look at all the interviews and know we're not faking it.
Well, I know that you guys aren't faking it, but I mean, it's been going on for so long now, and because it's become such a public thing, do you feel like it's gotten overblown at all, or is it really as intense as it seems?
No, I mean, I think it has its times where it can be intense, but I think some of it's definitely been overblown. I mean, that's kind of the job of media. I feel like they make things a lot bigger than they are. You know, to me, what this is about right now, and the way I look at it, is me proving that I'm the best in my weight class. And ever since I lost to Faber, it's always been a question of Urijah Faber beat you 4 years ago. Even when I first won the title, the first question I had is, are you ready to fight Urijah Faber? Like, I won the title. Yes, I'm ready for anybody. So I'm just ready to get that loss off my record, and prove that I'm the best in my weight class.
So even though you are the champion right now, and you really have proved that you are the best in the weight class, this fight on Saturday night is still a monkey that you want to get off your back?
Basically, that's exactly what it comes down to.
It's an interesting fight. Urijah's got an unpredictable style. You've got an unpredictable style. Where is Urijah Faber going to threaten you?
I mean, Faber's biggest threat is his ability to rest. Like, he's very good because he's a veteran in the sport, because he's been doing this so long. He understands the times that he can rest and then explode and exert a lot of energy and be quick and explosive and fast. So he knows when to rest, and that's why he never gets tired. He knows that when his back's against the cage, he can take a second, take a breather. When he gets off of that cage, he's going to go balls to the walls, looking to be fast and explosive and get the takedown or the elbow or whatever it may be. So really, his biggest weapon is his just veteran experience in there. And other than that, I mean, obviously his grappling is where he's the most comfortable. But to me, I don't really look at it as like a huge threat for me, just because I know that I can grapple with anybody in the world. And I'm just as good on the ground as he is, and I have no doubt in my mind about that. So I just think that really veteran experience and probably his grappling is where he's the most comfortable, so that's where the biggest threat may be.
Dominick Cruz, our guest today here on the show, talking about UFC 132 happening this Saturday night. You can watch the fights on pay-per-view or here in Las Vegas. Dominick, you mentioned something to Joe Rogan in an interview you did with him this past Sunday for UFC Live on Versus. You said that you know the real Urijah Faber and that Urijah Faber is just a salesman. What did you mean by that? What
I mean by that is, he plays a salesman part. Plays a real nice guy on camera, and then and tries to play me off to be the bad guy all the time. That I'm saying this, that I'm disrespectful. Well, if anybody was able to see behind the scenes, the dude talks just as much as I've been, has been running his mouth just as much and being, for lack of a better term, like he said, just as disrespectful to me as I've been to him. I'm not going to let him just keep talking and not say anything back. And he plays one thing on the camera, and then behind the scenes, he's there running his mouth about me, or right in front, he's just taking little stabs. So that's what I mean by that. You can't expect for me to respect what you've done if you don't respect the things that I've done, and not expect for me to say something back.
One of the questions that I have for you, Dominick, is that Urijah Faber, you constantly get asked about him, especially, obviously, because you are going to be fighting him this upcoming Saturday here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. But do you feel that you're going to be connected to this guy for a long time? Because if you do beat him and you do defend your championship when you beat him this Saturday, don't you have a feeling that there's going to be calls for a rubber match just because he is such a marketable fighter?
I mean, yeah, I've already thought into that. The same thing happened with Joseph Benevidez. The guy, you can't get rid of guys like Joseph either. I mean, those guys just keep winning and winning because they are on the upper echelon of the weight class. And, I feel Faber's probably going to be in the same boat. He's a marketable fighter, and, but the thing is, after I beat him, he's going to have to work his way back up. And there's a lot of threatening guys in my weight class. You got Brian Bowles, you got DJ, and you got like a lot of other guys that are just coming up that are hard to beat. So I'm not really worried about the future. I'm more worried about the present right now. I'm 3 days out of a fight, so I'm doing my best to just stay focused on the task at hand, day by day, getting this weight off, and then going in there and fighting in the present and having fun out there.
There's been a lot of talk about you being in one of these precarious positions where you've been so dominant over a lot of fighters in your division that there's talk about you possibly moving up a weight class. I know that you just mentioned that you're living in the present and you're not thinking that far in advance, but is there any desire for you to challenge yourself by moving up perhaps to 145?
I mean, like you just said, I am thinking about the present right now, but if you're going to ask me a question like that, the only thing I could say is I wouldn't turn the opportunity down, given the right opponent. I would, if I was going to fight at 145 pounds, I'd obviously want to fight somebody for a title or whatnot. That would be pretty much the only way I would do it. You
think you could pose some interesting threats to Jose Aldo?
I mean, I think that I can pose interesting threats to anybody at 145 or 135. I think 145 is definitely a much bigger weight class. What I mean by bigger is the size of the opponents. If I could definitely pose threats to anybody in the world in 145 or 135, and nobody's out there. Nobody in these weight classes can just go out there and outclass me. So I truly believe that I can give problems to anybody and beat anybody.
He is the UFC bantamweight champion. He is defending his title this Saturday night right here in Las Vegas. You can watch the fights on pay-per-view. Dominick Cruz, best of luck on Saturday night. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, sir.
This MMA 30 segment was powered by Cheaterville.com. Don't be the last to know. Log on to Cheaterville.com and search your significant other now. And while you're there, search for your own name in the Cheaterville database. It's free and it's online now at Cheaterville.com.